Hello, everybody, and welcome to this AFC South show number 151. We're going to be talking everything post-draft and all the possible goings-on between then and there because we haven't seen each other in a while. So go ahead and hit the like, subscribe button if you're new here, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. Share with anybody who is a Texans, Titans, Colts, or a Jaguars fan, and be good people. So let's get into it, guys. We haven't seen each other in a while. With me, Isaiah, our Jaguars fan. Jeff, speak softly and carry a big stick, our Colts fan. And then Midtown Mayr himself, our resident Titans fan. We're all individually hosting our shows, but I host That Real Texas Team podcast, the Texans podcast on the network. Isaiah, let's talk about your show.
Yeah, the best one, Third and Teal. Most followers, most views. We're doing our thing. Go Jags, and passing on a big stack.
Yeah, you might have the highest numbers on the pod, but this is still the best team. That unstable.
This is when
since ever,
man. Don't maybe trademark my name I came up with and kick you off of it.
Mayr?
Yeah, big stack, man. I love you, brother, but you said the best team, but you hadn't even won a division since 2012 or something like that?
When is anyone's last game of meeting? I mean, honestly.
The question is, will they win the division or will they win in Jacksonville first? That's the real question.
Right.
Oh, baby.
No.
Yep.
Probably not.
That's a solid question. That's a solid question.
Yeah. But Mayr, tell them where they can find Titans takeaways.
Yeah, you can find Titans Takeaways. You can find us on YouTube. Just look us up, Titans Takeaways 1. We're posting weekly now. We're about to start doing a live show here. We're just trying to get the audience up and everything. But I do want to start doing, a live show maybe on YouTube. Kurt, I'll talk to a little of you more about that. Good. But yeah, we're growing every day. Views are growing up. We're gonna catch up to the Duval's finest up there since he's bragging. I'm gonna make it a goal to defeat the Jags yet again, as my team usually does year in and year out. Maybe not the year before last, but we will make it a mission to defeat the Jags once again. So
that's solid. That's a solid goal. I think that's a goal we should have.
Friendly competition though. Friendly competition.
Yeah,
we all want
it is not friendly.
Sure.
Fuck that.
I definitely don't shit talk every other channel on my channel. Definitely not.
It's a regular thing. Fuck the goals.
I love it.
Not gonna lie. Unstable is the only one I actually mentioned directly by name because I made it up, and that's the only reason. Other than that, I got the fake Texas team and Tiny Titans takeaways, and so we but no, Unstable, it gets its light because I made it up. So
I do like that name though. That's a good name.
It's a good one. It's a
good name.
Solid, yeah.
Isaiah, you've had some important life events going on. What's been going on in your neck of the woods?
So I guess made a mistake and I gave my now fiance a friendship ring, and now she's talking about DJs and catering and weddings and stuff, and I didn't know all that came with it. So it was kind of interesting, but I got engaged. She claimed she knew it was happening, but I don't know if her jaw could have opened any wider when she looked up and saw the ring in her face. I keep telling her I'm going to take that shiny stone away from her if she keeps on talking shit and acting up. She doesn't let me. She just doesn't like that. No, I mean, I got engaged. Work is good as usual, and running the podcast and playing games and just fucking. I got some fishing stuff. Somebody start fishing again. That's cool.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Might be more fun than the engagement, but it's definitely not more important, allegedly. So, yeah, she doesn't watch. I can say whatever. She doesn't watch. I can say whatever the fuck I want. So love you, babe. Yeah, good times.
Jeff, you had any fun down there? I know you guys had a bunch of storms.
Yeah, it's been rough weather, and these we had 10-15% chance of rain, and all of a sudden severe storm. It was a few days ago. I was texting you about it. It hailed for 15-20 minutes straight. Before last, we had a Jericho, however you say it.
Jericho.
Start in Austin and rip all the way through to Cape Canaveral. A couple of tornadoes nearby. I think they've got a lot of the power restored. I think there might be some people still without, but it's been pretty chaotic, man. But luckily, where I'm at, I got power back the next day. It was about 24 hours. So but yeah, just got a car because I was in the crash, and I'm trying to get it fixed to a good point. I mean, I'm without AC right now, and it's a bad time to be without that. But other than that, I mean,
Florida?
things are going good. Huh?
You're in Florida?
No, I'm in Houston.
Oh,
No, I'm the Florida man.
Oh God.
Oh God,
man, I'm praying for you.
it's too hot, man.
Yeah.
Florida,
At least you got the water right there. You know what I'm saying? You got the beach. Got a little wind, but my gosh, man,
Yeah,
it's tough.
It's humid and hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mayr, what's been going on with you, brother?
Man, a lot. Work. Working on 2 podcasts. With Titans takeaways and the Midtown podcast, the official hat right there. Been doing a lot of good studio work though. We were working with me and my partner. We were doing some stuff for this label here in Nashville the other day. Like pretty much like one like this show with them. I don't know where it's gonna be broadcasted. Probably I imagine just on YouTube, and they've got about 3 groups in there, and they're trying to see which one they're gonna sign. Yada yada yada. So I'll need all the good luck we can get, so because if I'm signed to a label, that means I don't have to worry about, bullshit ass FedEx trucks breaking down and all type of stuff. I can just focus on what I need to focus on. But yeah, mainly just been working on the podcast. I've got like some episodes underneath the belt to where, we can start, posting every single day now instead of it being, just a few times a week. I've got reels just loaded up, ready to go. Been posting on YouTube a little bit more, some YouTube shorts and stuff like that. So hopefully everything comes into fruition. So just podcasting and all the media things that I do can be my focus instead of, dropping off packages every day. So
Hell yeah. Well, I hope that happens for you, man. That'd be awesome.
Sure.
I know you've been
me
working
too,
hard
man.
for that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's been a long grind, but hey, I'm here for it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I basically the same, except for, minus the potential of signing to a label. I've just been working a lot and, trying to get all of these podcasts produced and up and ready and keep the lady happy, keep the boy entertained. It's a lot to juggle, but we get it done. We get it done.
You do a great job.
We're starting a new era, so to speak, we're having a little bit of quality jump happening. So, I'd like to do that from time to time and keep things fresh, keep things going in the right direction. And I'm hoping that one day we'll hit monetization fucking finally.
Woo!
Finally, come on.
Please.
We'll get there.
And then I'll be able to start, making money. We could all make money.
Yep.
That's the
We'll get there. Just got to stay consistent, man. That's it. It's the name of the game. Got to stay consistent.
Yep. So without any further ado, let's get into the actual meat of tonight's podcast. Let's start off with something funny. Will Levis dropped
Will Levis. Oh,
Speaking of meat,
that's actually where we were going. That's crazy.
Yeah, Will Levis dropped a sex tape.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I heard something about like there's only one other quarterback that's ever dropped a sex tape, and they won a Super Bowl.
facts. Well, at least they went. Jimmy Garoppolo dated a porn star. They called him porn star Jimmy. As soon as he started dating that porn star, they went to the Super Bowl. So hey, just saying, guys, just throwing it out there. Long shot. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, hey, no publicity is bad publicity, right? And it's all good publicity. Plus, his girlfriend's hot as hell. So I didn't actually watch the video, but I've seen pictures of her. And I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, off air. I mean, last year I seen her walking across the street, and I about lost. First of all, I didn't even realize it was her for a second. I'm like, man, that girl was hot, and I looked at her a little bit more closely. I'm like, oh, that's Will Levis's girl. I was like, oh yeah, I get it. And seeing the sex tape, I didn't watch the whole thing. That's not really my thing. I ain't really trying to watch somebody meet, but that's just me. But I get it though. I seen a little bit of it.
Mayor's just trying to meet the meat, not watch the meat. Just
exactly.
Hi, how are you? Nice little handshake, and then we're good to go. We just wanted to check it out. I got you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
That's
I'm
me,
a person. I'm a person. I don't like to be on the bench. I like to be in the game. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you catch my drift. So yeah, yeah, it was cool though. It was cool.
It's
Okay.
kind of like watching film. It's like, why am I watching all this film if I'm not going to apply it? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Are we talking like? What's the? Wait. Never mind. We're good. I don't need to know.
relax. But on to the more substantial things. Because we haven't talked in a long time, we haven't talked about the draft picks. So, who wants to start talking about who was drafted or who you like out of your draft class?
I guess
Who
I'll
you like
start
the
since
most?
we had the first pick out of everybody in this group. I'll start with mine. So, last time we were on air, guys, I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you. Another thing that I did in my life, I bought AirPods, and it has really changed my life for the better. So I wish I would have bought that before the draft, so I could have actually been live with you guys. But anyways, we here. So when we drafted J.C. Latham, I was a little skeptical. I'm always skeptical of a right tackle going to left, but everything that I've seen from, at least everything that I've heard and the things that I've seen from him in OTAs, it gives me, some encouragement. I love the pick of Cedric Gray. I like the pick of Tavondre Sweat. I think he has a lot of potential. He's just got to get himself in shape and just stay off the Twinkies and the ho hos, and I think he'll be all right. I really love his hand placement. He uses his hands super well. He's super quick. So I think that him and Jeffrey Simmons will do well. I do like the Jaquan Jackson pick. We do need somebody with some speed. I like a lot of the UDFAs that we got. We got Jabari Small from Tennessee, running back. We got the running back also from Washington. He's a stud too. We also got Jerry Jolly from Tennessee too as a corner. We got Brownlee, 5th round pick from Louisville. He's a dog. So I think now since the dust is settled, I'm very happy with what my team was able to do during the draft.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Latham was a power move, I feel like. I mean, after Alt went off the board, it was like,
Mhm.
who are the Titans going for?
Yeah.
Was it Fashanu? Is it going to be one of the other left tackles? But no, they went with another Alabama right tackle, knowing that Bill Callahan's got history with that guy or with
Yeah.
that school and moving them from right to left. And I like the stuff that I've seen where he's had Latham on his custom um, oh, sled.
Sled. Yeah.
Yeah, the custom sled, Bertha
Yeah.
is what I
Bertha.
think they
Yep.
called it.
Hmm.
That's been pretty cool. I
Yep.
wish they would have had some sort of sled like that in high school. That would have been pretty
Hmm.
fucking slick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you might be in OTAs right now, Kurt, if we
That'd be
had
nice.
it.
That'd be nice. I'd
Yeah.
still do the podcast, guys. I'd still do it.
Oh yeah. Turn down the NFL deal for the podcast. Yeah.
No,
That's
no, no.
right.
I just do both. I just do both.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Not turning down. No, I wouldn't do. Come on now. That's life changing money right there.
Yeah, that's
Even
true.
if I'm a UDFA, they're getting like $100,000 just to come to camp.
Right. Hey, I'm down with that.
That's why I'm saying, like, come on.
Win a West Side,
Like,
no
what-
shit.
Right.
Come on. I'll be a UDFA. You just didn't know I was in college.
Right. Shoot, that's fine. XFL, shoot, that's cool too.
Shit. I've been thinking about getting in. The Nashville Cats are back, so I've been thinking about getting in shape and trying out for the Nashville Cats.
I thought about that too, Kurt. But I got a long road ahead of me though. Not gonna lie. Got a long road.
Dude, I'm really out of shape, so yeah. No, I
Yeah.
feel you on that one.
Yeah. I need like a year of training to do that.
Well, the next tryouts are like in February, so I mean, you got time.
Okay, I'll think about it. I've legitimately thought about it because I
No,
play in the
I feel you
league.
because like
I play in the league every Wednesday. I still got it, but I need like training though.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I feel you. We need to. You need to let me know when you're playing. I'll play.
Gotcha.
Anyway, Houston drafted Kamari Laster in the second round, which
Slow.
we've all exactly. That's the 40 time was slow. But I think that Casario comes from the like mind of the folks who run the Rams staffing organization, the staffing part of the organization,
Fuck
where they
them
don't look
Texans.
at 40 times. They don't even send people to the actual combine. What they do is they would rather use the metric of like how many miles per hour did you run in this particular instance, and they can track that. And it seemed to be fast enough for him to be worthy of being drafted in the second. So I'm not too scared of him. Blake Fisher. I think we drafted him a little early in the second, but I think it was all because Casario's plan was to draft safety Javon Bullard, also a Georgia Bulldog, but he went the pick before at 58. Instead, the next guy on his board was Blake Fisher, who had a third-round grade on him, but he thought that there was going to be a run on tackles, so he went ahead and took him at 59. And then he was right. There was a run on tackles. He basically started it. And so he had to trade up back in the third round and grab Kalen Bullock, safety out of USC, who didn't even turn 21 until after the draft. So he's a young dude. He's a little undersized, but he's going to be solid. We picked up Ohio State tight end Cade Stover, who played with CJ Stroud for 2 seasons. Jamal Hill, linebacker in the 6th round. He was a safety for his first 2 years, and then he got up to about 235 pounds. And they were like, oh, you're going to play linebacker, and played solid enough. And he's got an athletic profile that'll make your eyes just fucking freak out. A lot of these other guys, I'm not super sold on. I know that they can bring some important rotation in certain areas. We drafted another running back. We drafted a defensive end, a defensive tackle, and a guard. Kind of saying to some of the guys in the offensive line room that nothing is too safe, which is good for me. There are a couple guys that I wouldn't mind getting and like moving on from.
Like who? Put a name on it.
Titus Howard.
Trash.
Good trash.
Isaiah's coming in with ad libs. Like, no, but like Titus Howard last year, we had signed him to an extension where he was making like 18 million a season or something, which is like above average tackle play. But because of injuries and because of the performance of the guy who we signed to replace him while he was hurt to start the year, he was playing so well that they were like, let's leave him at right tackle and then move Titus to guard, who probably had his worst season since his rookie year.
You signed George Fant to replace him, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he ended up playing right tackle all season.
Bro, let me tell you about George Fant real quick, bro. Madden 20, what? This had been like Madden 15, maybe Madden like 17 or 18. He had like 78 speed and was like 300 pounds. So I used to put him at fullback. And then I would call him Fatty Fant. And anytime I ran the ball, you knew I was following Fatty Fant through the hole anywhere he went because he had 78 speed and had like 70 something blocking. Fucking game changer. Shout out George Fant.
Yeah.
You know, like locked in, you got to be in Madden to even like figure that out.
Bro.
Yeah, no, like very locked in.
I'm telling you right now, I got guys like Owen Popoe out of Auburn who plays for the Cardinals, I think maybe, or he plays for somebody. He's got like 92, 93 speed, moving to safety every time. He's a linebacker. He's like 6'1", 215, 220. He's an undersized linebacker, but he's got like 87 hit power. Bro, beast of a safety, okay? I know these guys. I find gems. I find diamonds. I move them around. Troy Anderson from the Falcons, he's got 93 speed. He's like 6'3", 250 pounds. Play him at corner. He's a fucking monster. You can put him anywhere on the field. Put him at tight end for a game, had like 300 yards with him receiving and 5 touchdowns. Bro's a monster.
It's insane.
Well, look.
Sorry. Rant. Over.
Well, now let's rant about the Jaguars picks.
Yeah. Oh, my turn? No,
yes.
I'm just messing around. Brian Thomas Jr. He's tall. He's fast. He's tall and fast. I think that very excited for him. All right. I'll be serious. So Brian Thomas Jr. Everybody talks about how he only ran goes at LSU and how he doesn't have great route running. That's a lie. Brian Thomas Jr. has very quick feet. He's good in his breakdowns. He's very, very maneuverable for a guy of his size. He just wasn't asked to do that at LSU, and that's okay. And I think that hurt his draft stock a little bit, but he's only the number 3 guy in LSU history in touchdowns caught in a season. There's other guys, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, just to name a few. His teammate Malik Neighbors didn't even catch that many. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about Brian Thomas Jr., especially when we got guys like Kamari Lassiter running the 4.62 at corner. So that's going to be pretty cool. Just right past him. No, but to be honest, though, I'm really excited about the Brian Thomas Jr. pick. They finally kind of put out some clips of Trevor throwing to him deep. He's got sure hands. He's quick in and out of his breaks. But once we get the pads on, we start seeing that I'll be a little more here or there on him, just kind of seeing how much they work him over the middle, on the outside, different stuff like that. Draft pick wise too, Mason Smith. I think that a lot of people are overly critical of the Mason Smith pick. If there's one person I trust to evaluate talent in the NFL, it's Andy Reid, and he went out of his way to call Doug Peterson during the draft, and this is on video and like confirmed to say that's a really good pick. He's a big kid. He's a really good pick. So
that was a setup, man.
Of course it was. I don't care. It was in the hunt. So
y'all play them this year?
The Chiefs in the preseason. We don't play them in the regular season this year.
Okay.
But Mason Smith, super excited about the pick. He's 6'5", 315 pounds. He moves really good for a guy of his size. He's gonna be a solid guy behind Eric Armstead. They're built relatively similar. Armstead's had some injury history, so that gives us a chance to rotate a guy in who's at least as big as Armstead. He's tough as nails. He's a good kid. He got hurt his second year, and of course, people are like, oh, his production wasn't there. Well, yeah, you're 315 pounds. You tear your ACL. You're not going to come back perfect the next season. So excited about him. Jordan Jefferson, I think he's another big old just beef. I mean, just 37 reps at his pro day, 34 at the combine. I mean, dude, we got some beef in the middle. Pretty excited for him to rotate in. Apparently, Devon Hamilton back to 2022. We'll see. Yet to be seen. But that's pretty exciting. Jarian Jones out of Florida State. It is Jarian. He confirmed that by Mayr. He's been playing really well during OTAs and stuff. They said he's looked really good. They're going to ask him to play inside and outside, but there's a chance he slips into that number 2 outside role. Cam Little. The pictures with Cam Little, it looks like a middle schooler, like at Jacksonville's camp, like taking kicks. Oh, hello. So it's been interesting, but he had the best Duval of a draftee that I've heard in a long time. So I'm here for it. I think he's gonna be the next Josh Scobie. Some pretty exciting picks for Jacksonville. Josh Cephas out of UTSA, undrafted free agent. He was projected as early as the 5th round. We got him as an undrafted free agent. He's been really good in camp, really great player. It's been exciting. We had a couple of other UDFAs. There were a couple free agent signings after the draft. Terrell Edmonds, I know Tennessee's relatively familiar with him. He'll be a solid depth piece for us, I think. Ty Summers, he's another guy that's going to be pushing for a spot. And then Trey Flowers, we also got him. So a couple of nice additions after the draft and also the draftees. I'm pretty excited for.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I thought the Mason Smith pick was really solid. When I was editing one of your podcasts, I think you said something to the effect of the smallest person on the defensive line for the Jaguars right now is probably Trayvon Walker or Josh Allen.
Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen. So Josh Allen would now be the smallest player in terms of like height weight combo, at 6'4", 240 something, 250 something pounds. He is now the smallest player on our especially in our starting front 4, and then even second and third level players.
That's insane.
Besides Yasir Abdullah, who's 6'3" or 6'2", 6'1", 6'1", 255, but they have been practicing him at linebacker, and he's even been designated that way on the roster. So I think we're going to see him in more of a Sam role behind Devin Lloyd. But yes, as of right now, Josh Allen is our smallest player on the D-line.
Okay. Jeff, let's talk about the Pony Boys.
Yeah, it was kind of a surprising draft. There was an expectation, I think, at 15 of where Ballard was going to go with this, and when all the corners, none were taken to that point, so it was an expectation, I think, that where the Colts were going to go, and he went with Latu at edge. At first, it was a little bit shocking, but I get it. The Colts were really good at getting sacks, but horrible at pressure rate. So I understand. I get it. A guy like that can really help your secondary, who struggled for the good part of last year. So I actually really like the pick. I've seen him in OTAs. He's looked great. He even got the shoe tattooed on his arm. So he has a good story. He came back after a bad injury, came back and had 2 great, really productive years in college to be arguably the best defender in this draft. So I think getting him at 15 was a bargain. If he didn't have that injury, he probably goes in the top 5. So I love the pick. And then, of course, in the second round, Ballard, traded back and still got AD Mitchell. I think this is another excellent pick. Gives Richardson another, really good weapon, which I think is what Pierce was supposed to be, but just never really transpired into it. And then in the third and fourth round, they went, what was it? Yeah, tackle and guard. I don't know, if they're gonna, necessarily start or back up, but our line isn't getting any younger. Kelly's getting up there, same thing. They're getting older, so I get the picks. I really am interested in their fifth round pick, which was Gold out of Oregon State. The NFL changed the kickoff. How they're going to do it, and Ballard's playing the long game. He went with the best returner in college, and they got him right there. So I get it. He's fast. He's excellent at his position. I'm interested. I like it. They didn't go corner until fifth and sixth round, so I don't know exactly what the plan is with them. I feel like he's going to stick with Jones and Juju, and of course Kenny Moore. So I'm not really sure. It was a little shocking. I really felt maybe a trade up in the second was going to happen because two of the top corners were still there, and he didn't make a move. So I'm guessing he saw something that he didn't like in him and wanted to chill out and get AD. So I'll trust Ballard. I think he's a fantastic drafter, and overall, I think this was a really good draft for him. I'm really excited to see Law too. I think Colts have a lot of depth at edge, and he's just. This should only the worst thing that could happen is they actually get some holding calls. They didn't get a lot of that last year, so worst case, hopefully they just drive that up.
Yeah.
But I want to see some quarterback pressures.
Okay. God, I forgot there was something that had happened and I forgot what I was going to say. Let's move to the OTAs now. The OTAs, obviously, for people who know about it, I mean, we know it's not to be taken super seriously. But for those who don't know, you don't take it super seriously. They don't have pads on. You don't really know much about how they're going to be until the pads come on. There's just a level of physicality that you can't see in just helmets. And that's the entire MO of football. So OTAs need to be taken with a grain of salt, but it's important to see who's standing out early and often. So who on your squads is standing out in OTAs right now?
I would say for me, are we talking veterans or are we talking rookies?
Anybody, any standouts, anybody new to the team, been there for a while?
I've got three. First of all, J.C. Latham, carrying around Big Bertha, like she's a $5 hoe or something like that. It's 380 pounds, guys. And he's just tossing that bad boy around like it's nothing. And he definitely seems like he is probably at least the second best lineman on the team already. Like I know we got Lloyd Cushenberry, he's a great center, but J.C. Latham is looking like a monster out there. Calvin Ridley, he looks pretty sharp so far, as well as OTA. So I mean, you have to take that with a grain of salt. But just his shiftiness, we haven't seen.
Let's go.
His
Dude, he's
shiftiness-
already double clutching in camp. I can't wait for all those drops in the games, baby.
Hey, we just getting cooking, man. Just worry about them tall linemen that you got. They're gonna be easy to block because their target's too big. But anyway, yeah,
Not by Tennessee though.
what happened? What happened the last game of the year, my boy?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Anyway,
No sacks.
Anyways, but yeah, he from what I've seen so far, he looks like he's a very shifty, receiver, and we haven't had that out of a number one target in a long time. Usually we have those big stalkier guys, not necessarily burners. Not to call Calvin Ridley the fastest receiver in the league, but it's definitely a good change up from what we had. And I would say for my third, actually I got four, but I'll make it the last two quick. I will say Traylon Burks. He's looked great in OTA so far. He's gotten, big props from Coach Callahan, Calvin Ridley, and DeAndre Hopkins. And it doesn't seem like they're just trying to hype him up, give him some confidence. I think that they actually legitimately mean what they say. And I would say Dylan Raditz is probably going to be the starter at right guard. He's gotten a lot of praise from the coaching staff, and we definitely need like stability at the right guard position. And I think that Dylan Raditz is going to have a solid year.
Okay. I'd kind of like to see Shadiq Charles in at that right guard spot.
I will too. Yeah.
But Raiden's been kind of bouncing around the depth chart, different positions.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can just leave him at one spot, I think he'll get good at something rather than be kind of like a Swiss Army knife.
He's got the talent. It's just with the previous coaching staff, it's just they put him all over the line, and then he'd have one good game. Like he might be playing a Nick Bosa or a T.J. Water, one of the top linemen in the league, and he have a great game. And then the next game they might have him at another spot, or maybe he just plays down to his competition. So if he can just be stationary somewhere, I like Sadiq Charles. I like Sadiq Charles as well. Um, he could play right tackle because he played left tackle for Joe Burrow at LSU. I was just watching one of the games the other day, and he could play a right tackle. I would feel comfortable with him right there. I don't trust Nicholas Petit Ferrer at all. So if Sadiq Charles is the right tackle, I'm cool with that too.
Okay. Jeff, Isaiah, who wants to dive on that one? OTAs.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so far in OTAs, Jarian Jones has looked really good. Like I said earlier, they said that he's been learning really well. I think one thing I did want to say about the overall just defense in general is reports out of OTAs from reporters, coaches, players, everything is like they actually look like they're all in sync, like first, second, third string, like everybody's going to the right place, the right time, and everything, which is a lot more structure than we had under Mike Caldwell. So Ryan Nielsen and his staff showing out in OTAs, I'll give it up for them. One thing too, though, Parker Washington apparently, a lot of reporters have been saying he's looked really impressive in camp, which is honestly good for to hear because he came in last year after Christian Kirk got hurt and really dominated honestly when he was on the field, and then Trevor was getting the ball to him. So it'd be nice to see him there. I don't want Christian Kirk to get hurt, but at least we know if we have a player like that can come in and play that position if something were to happen. They're both about the same height, same speed. I think Washington's a little stronger, but Kirk's a little bit more polished of a route runner. So Washington showing out's nice. Devon Foster, I've been hearing some good stuff about him. I mentioned him in the podcast. I think once pads go on, if Cam Robinson gets traded, it'll be because of Devon Foster. But he's been looking good. And then last but not least, Mitch Morse coming in from Buffalo. I don't think he's really looked that great during camp because I haven't heard anything about it. It's just awesome to not see Luke Fortner anywhere like near the starting lineup. That's what happened in that game last year, Mayr. Luke Fortner happened. But that was
it wasn't your quarterback missing open throws at the end of the game.
No. It was the quarterback calling his own number and not handing it off to Tank Bigsby to a wide open hole for a touchdown and getting tackled by Luke Fortner after Jeffrey Simmons, the monster, just absolutely blew him up for like 6 yards into the backfield. Good times. Luke Fortner. Yeah. Woo! He actually, I will say, I have shit talked Luke Fortner a lot on this show, and I did especially after last offseason. Luke Fortner looked pretty big in some of the pictures I was seeing. It looks like he actually put on some weight this offseason rather than take it off. Still hate him. Don't want him to play, but just saying, he looked kind of big. Pause. But it was. I don't know.
No diddy.
No diddy.
No diddy.
Bro, did y'all see that college basketball player that said that in an interview?
No.
He was from like North Carolina. He was like, I was holding on to the balls real good. No diddy. And like he said something like that. And like didn't skip a beat. But I digress. Jeffrey,
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't think I can start this off without mentioning Anthony Richardson. Of course, he got hurt most of last year. He's been pretty much a full go at OTAs, ready to rock. He's looked really sharp. I mean, as sharp as you can in OTAs. He's been slinging like a fastball, man. It's looking good. When you're a QB1, goes down with an injury, it's nice to see him out there slinging it, especially when it was a shoulder injury. So it's great to have him back. Of course, I'm looking at AD Mitchell. He's looked really good in OTAs. The other interesting thing is, I guess, the running back position behind, of course, Jonathan Taylor. Who's going to kind of take that number 2 spot? Is it going to be Sermon, who looked pretty good last year, or Evan Hull, who unfortunately suffered an injury? I think that's an interesting position battle right now. It's kind of looking like Sermon. On the defensive side, of course, Latu. I don't know if there's really any debating that he won't be starting. He's looked good, but I think at corner, I think is the most interesting, defensive position. Of course, it's probably going to be who's going to be playing alongside Juju Brents. Is it going to be, Jalen Jones, or is it going to be Flowers? Flowers got hurt about a month into the season. I believe it was a torn Achilles, but he shined, in moments last year. So I think that'll be an interesting competition. But I think that corner, between Jalen Jones and Flowers is it's an interesting position battle. But overall, man, it's good to see the AR back up and slinging it around.
Okay. I've got 2. The first of them, actually, both of them are in the same draft class, the 2022 draft class. I'm going to start with first-round draft pick Kenyon Green. So last several years, Kenyon Green showed up with a little bit of a firmer grasp on what he was doing, but he was out of shape, needed to be worked back into shape. This year, he shows up to OTAs, and he doesn't have a belly. Man is in shape. He's able to run with everybody, and he not only has a firm grasp on the playbook, he's teaching people what they're supposed to do. Even, like the tight end doesn't know which side of the line he's supposed to go on. Kenyon Green has taken it upon himself to be like, you're over there, guy, which is a great sign from a young offensive lineman coming off a year where he didn't even get to play because of injury and surgeries. So I'm glad he's taken the time to build himself and to familiarize himself a lot better with what his responsibilities are. My second player is Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce saw the addition of Joe Mixon and said, all right, let's fucking get this, and took it as a personal challenge. He also showed up to camp lean and looking angry. He's got a much firmer grasp on the playbook himself as well. As well, he's able to see the holes a little bit better because he understands so much more about what he's being asked to do. They said he's been attentive and ready to tackle whatever he needs to do. I'm just hoping that he makes my purchase of his jersey worth it. But
that was one you traded for, wasn't it?
Yeah. Traded.
Shout out Big Stick.
Shout out Big Stick. Traded the Watson for that one. So, I mean, I'll take it. But
if he doesn't get caught with massage, you're already ahead. I'm just saying.
That's true. At least worst he could do is probably end up being a Brown after this. But
Jesus. I'll be trading in another jersey for you.
Max guaranteed money, baby.
But yeah, he's going to be running back 2 behind Joe Mixon, and he's excited for his role. He's also going to be fighting for the return role. Now I remember what I was going to say, but I'll get back to it. Last year, he was a kick returner because of certain injuries to other players, and he had a kickoff return for a touchdown against the Browns. That's something that he may be asked to do a little bit more of this season. We'll see as the season gets closer, because we've got a couple other return guys on the roster. So this is probably the deepest the Texans have ever felt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like in many different spots.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, how's Joe Flacco doing in camp?
He's there. They are, he says that he's being a really good mentor, asking him questions, picking his brain. So he's playing his QB2 role really well with essentially a rookie. So yeah,
that's good to
as
hear.
Far as I heard much of him out of OTAs, as far as throwing or whatever, but I'm sure he's participating.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's taking on the mentor role really well from what I'm reading.
How's Mac Jones?
He's doing good. Really taking advantage of that 2 range. They said in some press conferences he's really pushing CJ Beathard, which is a good thing because I don't really like CJ Beathard. So Yeah, no, pretty excited. Mac Jones looks good. He's throwing some good balls. They're putting him on Instagram and Twitter and all that, and it's a good time.
Quarterback controversy?
Yeah, don't even start. There's actually some Jags fans that are like joking about it, and there's some who are being serious about it. And like I'm like, there's so many like idiots in every fan base. I can't tell who's who.
Yeah.
Except for like people I've interacted with before, but like some people are actually like, "Oh, Mac Jones is going to take the starting job," and I'm like, "Are you really that dumb? Like, are you really that stupid?"
He's trash.
Yeah,
He's trash.
like he's a solid backup at this point in
Yeah.
his career, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's no way he's taking QB1. Now Joe Flacco, I knew he was going to be on the Colts. I called it
a year ago.
You did. It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I was playing the
Yeah.
long game on that one.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no.
You made jokes about it. I hated it.
No, of course.
Here we are.
I like AR. I will say I like AR. Big Florida fan here. Like the news of Florida. Hopefully, he has taken Trevor Lawrence and every other quarterback that he faced, because I'm sure they all told him the same things, advice, and gets the fuck down when there's contact and slides. Because I think that we could have one of the best like quarterback conferences in the league if everybody stays healthy and plays well and they continue to develop for them. But they gotta stay healthy, and that's the big thing.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Speaking of quarterbacks, one quarterback that was taken in the 2021 NFL draft was traded to the Steelers this offseason, and there's been rumors that he could be on kick return. Have you guys heard about Justin Fields possibly being a kick returner?
There is literally nothing to it. That was just the special teams coach jokingly said that to one of the returners, and then it made it to the media. But it has not actually been discussed inside the building as a possibility, as far as I'm aware, as of right now. The kick return, like special teams coach, just literally was like, "Oh, I thought about putting Justin back here if they'd let me," and then
it'd be awesome.
It'd be pretty funny.
It'd be funny. That'd be embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've heard some pretty nasty rumors coming out about him. And like also too, like I've heard some pretty nasty rumors about people saying like to Caleb Williams, like this, like don't be like the last quarterback we had and shit like that. Where after he's throwing like 7 picks and 7-on-7 and stuff like that. So, my buddy was like, "Have you seen the stuff with Caleb Williams?" I'm like, "No." Like I looked that up, and there's like an article that says something along those lines. At least as far as I've seen some things, like apparently they're pretty pissed off at Caleb Williams and making references to Justin Fields in that camp. So, yeah. And also I've heard that Justin Fields apparently like does not understand NFL or any defenses at any level and can't make it past his first read. And so I originally was like, man, Justin Fields, he's going to come in there and take Russell Wilson's spot in Pittsburgh. Yeah. And now I'm like, that motherfucker probably couldn't take his own spot on the bench because like, like I don't know, dude. I'm all over the place, but I digress.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I thought that Justin Fields was going to be the best quarterback out of his class, but damn, I was wrong about that.
Yeah, I mean, there was the rival host. He had an opinion that he thought that Justin Fields was going to be an MVP candidate last season. And I was like, my dude, he's going to be a backup in like 4 years, and he'll be a career backup from now on, unless he does the Terrell Pryor thing and just switches to wide receiver, and then he'll probably dominate for a couple of years.
Yeah, MVP is crazy. Now, I can understand he's going to have a good season, maybe a Pro Bowl. Okay.
Yeah.
MVP is crazy.
Yeah, for real.
Yes, he will be the best player in the NFL.
All right, so let's wrap up with this last topic here, and we'll get out of here because I know Mayor's got a pod here in a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. Player fits. Is there anybody who has, they were drafted in a certain spot or they played a certain spot, and then now that they're in the building, they're maybe doing some gadget roles or they're playing a different spot than you anticipated?
This draft particularly, or just in general?
Just in general. I mean, like if you guys have one that, like you mentioned, Yasir Abdullah being used more as a linebacker rather than an edge, which he was kind of drafted at.
More importantly, Devin Lloyd, because he was drafted to come play middle linebacker. And now that we're in a 4-3, he's going to be playing Sam like he played in college. And apparently he looks really good and was like really has a good grasp on the playbook. And like in college, he came off the edge a bunch. I mean, he's 6'3". He was like 235, 240, and he actually looks like he beefed up a little bit this offseason too. And honestly, he looked a lot more comfortable in the Sam position in college than he did once he got to the NFL. He moved at linebacker. And with the new defensive coordinator like Ryan Nielsen and having a more put together scheme rather than like people not knowing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. I think that he's gonna adjust really well to the Sam position over playing like straight up Mike linebacker / inside linebacker for a 3-4.
Jeff?
I think I might be getting this wrong. There was a player in the draft. Let me pull it up real quick. I think he was a safety, and he's converting to linebacker. I want to make sure I get the name right, though.
Okay. While you're looking that up, Mayr, do you have one?
I would say not from this draft. I think everybody is playing their position. Something that I've just seen. I've seen people talk about Caleb Farley, a corner from a couple of years ago, possibly making that transition to safety. Maybe. I think he would do well because he's lightning fast. It's just good to see him out there in OTAs working. With his father passing away and all his injuries that he's had over the past couple of years. It's just good that he hasn't given up and he's out there working. So I want to give a shout out to him. I see him every now and again. So cheering for him, rooting for him.
Jalen Carlisle.
Jalen Carlisle, yeah. I just pulled it up. I didn't want to interrupt him, but yeah, Jalen Carlisle.
Yep.
Okay. I don't really think we have a gadget guy at the moment. If we do, it'd probably be Jamal Hill, who is big enough to be a linebacker and fast enough to play nickel and safety. He's kind of going to be used, in my opinion, as like an Isaiah Simmons. So with that being said, let's go ahead and wrap this up here. Folks, want to thank you all for watching. Guys, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to do this show with me. Go ahead and hit the like, subscribe button. Go follow each and every one of our channels. And most of all, be good people.
Go Jags.
Right.